Yeah, so I guess the only other thing that really happened of note, I mean, we touched on it briefly, but I just want to say it again. Fuck John Fisher. The Salt Lake plan. Have you heard the specifics of this?
No.
There's two
Yeah.
different
Of
minor
course
league
there's
ballparks
two.
happening.
Of
They're
course.
moving like Salt Lake City. Their AAA team has a 14,500 seat stadium in downtown Salt Lake. They're in the process of building a new one that's going to open like 30 minutes down the road in 2025 that only seats 7,500. I want you to guess which one the A's are interested in possibly playing at.
Gotta be the smallest one possible.
Yeah, that'd be the 7,500. They're going
Yeah.
full mullet arena. Ridiculous. I mean, and honestly, it doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. That being said, of all the plans that make no sense, the Salt Lake one actually makes the most not sense. Because there's at least two stadiums that'll be viable, and so you're not kicking a minor league team out of their home entirely. You're just kind of delaying them from moving into their new one, and they would play in the old one for another 3 years. Um, it still doesn't make sense at all. I don't get it. I don't get how the money works in any meaningful way.
It's because
It's
he's just gonna go ahead and just make money off of the whole revenue sharing. So he really give a shit about the
right.
seats for the
How much is
stadium.
these revenue sharing checks? That's what I
Well,
really want to know.
Forbes was saying a couple years ago, like right up to the pandemic, the A's were what, number 5 in all of profits.
Yeah, in terms of
So
profit, yeah.
Like more
so
more than the Yankees,
well, the
Mhm.
more
Yankees
than
are
the
like one,
Dodgers.
Mhm.
one, two.
Well, when you don't spend any money on overhead like, employees,
Right.
and that's not
So,
just the players, like we're talking people running concession stands
well,
and
what's this? I saw something the
security.
other day. I don't have the link on our files. There's a state that MOB doesn't. They want to make the ball players like they don't get the minimum wage. The minimum wage law that was passed for whatever state. They're saying ball players should be exempt from the minimum wage law.
Oh, for the
So
minor leagues?
yeah, so they would actually be paid below minimum wage to be
Treat them like restaurant workers, right? But baseball players don't get tips, so that's
so it is just,
fucking hell.
what John Fisher is doing. I mean, like, we've covered it here so many times, but just as an owner, and MLB is complicit with this, and early on when all of this crap was breaking, we talked about the regional sports networks and how they're getting into cahoots with this Sinclair group, and the Bally group is in cahoots with Sinclair, and they're buying media outlets. They just bought the Baltimore Sun, and they're turning them into these political stations that have nothing to do with sports. And now Amazon, where Jeff Bezos purchased the Washington Post, now Amazon is going to pay a bunch of money to Bally. It's a mess. It's a
Yeah.
mess. Sports and baseball, they're selling their souls to their devil to make a couple of more bucks, where you're already profitable. You're already a
Mhm.
$1 billion.
It's a quicker couple of bucks. It's so
Right?
fucking
Like,
and
it's
it's
totally unnecessary.
short-sighted as fuck. Like
It's short-sighted. You're destroying communities. Okay, fine. Everybody for some strange reason, everybody loves to shit on Oakland. Um, Politically, nationally, just everything is like crap all over Oakland. But when it comes to, this is going to happen again with nothing's finalized in Tampa Bay, nothing's
Yep.
finalized in Baltimore, nothing's finalized with the Arizona Diamondbacks, the Colorado Rockies,
Kansas City.
Milwaukee is still bitching about their upgrades, Kansas City. So when you start having 8, 9, 10 teams asking for free stadiums and free land, and the hell with your housing issues, your homeless issues, all of these major metropolitans, all of them have issues with homelessness and drugs and the environment of a major metropolitan city. And it's you're going to get the ballpark, And look at Milwaukee. They gave them this ballpark. They gave them the land. They helped fund it. And now Milwaukee needs another $400 million to fix it up. You know, so every 10 years, every 20 years, you're going to be ponying up another 400 million, another 500 million. So it's endless. And
The grift keeps grifting.
yeah, nothing makes sense with John Fisher and the A's. None of it makes sense. They own half the current site. So already they're using that to leverage against the city. They won't allow community benefits to happen on the current site. They won't allow other people to rent it where the A's would make money. They won't allow it to be redeveloped unless they're controlling it. They don't even try to negotiate buying the half from the city of Oakland. So they literally just want to cripple a community, cripple a city. Like, what are we doing here? It's nonsense. Fuck John Fisher.
Seriously. I mean, I would make some funny little quip, or whatever, but it's just fuck John Fisher. That's it. I mean, we've been rallying, we've been screaming about this.
This guy wants
for
to put
years.
his art gallery in the stadium in Las Vegas. He's going to put his art gallery
in
a fucking baseball stadium.
That totally makes sense.
Like, what are we doing?
Fucking asshole.
You know,
I'm going to call them the assholes.
And he gets the San Jose Quake Stadium built on land that was like the least desirable land to put a stadium. You can't have any fireworks or never. You can never do anything.
It's literally right across the street from the airport. Oh, hey, the new site's like right next to the airport too. There goes fireworks there. They're not doing fireworks. Yeah.
Right.
Not to mention you can't build a dome because you're near an airport, because you're gonna have lights to cover the dome, which is too much for air traffic control, so it's illegal. Yeah, so you can't have a dome.
Yeah, and then he starts complaining about the stadium is already outdated.
Yeah.
So I mean, you chose the site, you chose the design. You said you needed this stadium to have competitive balance, to fund the team, and not once have you funded the team. They're just mediocre.
Yep.
Yeah.
They've just been mid for 15 years. They had this fucking stadium. You think this is going to change with the A's? Come on.
They finished, the Quakes finished 9th, which is the last place you can finish in while still making the playoffs. They got bounced one and done. And this was actually the first time they made the playoffs since the freaking the Goonies years in
Landon
like
Donovan.
No, like 2012, 2013.
Oh, right.
They actually they had a really actually like high scoring team those couple of years. They actually won the Supporter Shield in 2012. But that ended after like they went to the semifinals, I think, and lost in that round. And so and I mean, so you've had one playoff win in a dozen years, basically. Yeah, with the Quakes and the new stadium, they've had that since 2015, and that one playoff win came before the new stadium. So clearly that's helped.
The richest contract in A's history is not, it's Eric Chavez. He didn't issue that contract. It's still the Chris Davis deal, right?
That's how much the most that he's ever given. That was 3 years, 48.
It was that one, and then followed by Billy Butler.
Billy Butler was 3 and 30. So like the most.
So, but it was Chris Davis was 3 and 38,
3 and 48,
and then he got traded. It's like you didn't even get that money. So
yeah,
so
he's never spent more than $50 million on a single player
ever between both franchises that he owns.